Greg, it seems like when you're a Heisman candidate, every game becomes kind of a referendum on what your chances are. Not just you, but any other candidate.
Say it again?
I say when you're considered a Heisman candidate, every game almost seems like it's a referendum on how well you're playing or not playing, whether you deserve to be. You know, that all that kind of hype that goes with being a candidate. Do you sense that at all? I know you probably don't care too much about that. As Max said, it's just about winning the game.
Oh yeah, I think.
Stats.
Yeah, the big thing is just 2-0. That's what I think. Kind of all that stuff kind of comes, and there's games where I'm going to get those 400 yards, and there's games where we're running at 250. So there's different types of games, different types of ways. It depends on teams kind of try to hold the ball from me, run out the clock. I've stayed that a little bit. Minnesota's going to try to do that, keep me in the offense off the field. I'm just trying to execute the plays that are called, and I think we got a good game plan. I think we got a good job of spreading it around to a lot of different guys and making plays, and that's the good thing about having a balanced offense. When we need it, like in that 2-minute drill, we're gonna make plays, and it's nothing that I'm not ready for. Just go out there and execute the plays and try to win the ball game.
Max, this Minnesota defense is probably the best that you guys have seen so far this season. What challenges will they present on Saturday?
Yeah, they're well coached. They'll be in the right spot. They'll hit you hard. They'll punch you in the mouth. They're one of the best third down defenses in the country. They'll mix it up. They'll zone us. They'll go up and man us. So they do a nice job. They're big up front, and it's Big Ten football. So I know they're going to come hard nosed and like I said, well coached. So we'll be up for the challenge. It's one of those things again where they're going to try to hold 3 yards on first down and try to get third and short and try to make us play football. So we got to do a good job in short yard stuff and hit and play the big plays when we need them.
Drake, how has Nick McCollum looked in practice so far this week? Mac was saying that he's good to go. They didn't bring him out a ton against App State as he was working back from an injury, but how has he looked so far this week?
Yeah, Nate, he's going to be big for us this year. He's not only is he's a great football player, he understands the game, he understands looks, he understands defense, and he's just an athlete. He played baseball, was a two-way player at Georgia Tech, so he's just an athlete, and just try to get him the ball in his hands, and he can be one of those game-changing guys, and move him around a little bit, and get him in some different spots, and just try to get the ball in his hands. That's what we're trying to do. He looked great out there today, and he's still working back. I think he said for App State he was like 85-90%, so I'm not sure where he's at now, but I know he looks good. So.
And how much of the adjustment was it those first couple games? Really the whole spring, fall, you're working with, Tez, Nate kind of being the main guys. They're not available those first 2 games, all things considered. So just how much of an adjustment was that, and how do you think that you all were able to, kind of find some success, probably despite that fact?
Yeah, no doubt. You're working with those guys, and really that's the good thing about practice is you have guys, and you're mixing in guys. Coach Galloway does a nice job of mixing in guys, and having some of the young guys that are going to play for us, like Doc and Andre Green, and even Chris Culver does a nice job mixing them in there with me. I try to make sure I'm getting extra work with them after practice in case I need to work with something, just for timing wise. Yeah, like I say, it's a little bit of adjustment. And obviously, having those 2 guys not there, but at the same time, same things last year. When Josh and AG weren't there, I got to have guys step up, and I feel like it even makes it harder on the defense because we're not, honing in on one guy trying to get touches all the time. We're just, like I said, playing ball and trying to execute play.
Max said yesterday that Nate's a full go this week. So what does adding him to that room give you that maybe the room didn't have the first 2 games? He didn't have nothing available.
That's a good question. I think Nate's got that same kind of twitch that Josh has a little bit. Obviously, Josh is one of the twitchiest players that I've seen in college football last year. So Nate's got that same type of twitch. He's tough to tackle, tough to bring down, and just route running wise in the slot. And he even can be dynamic and go outside. So he brings that kind of what's the word for just universal. He can do everything. I don't know, some type of tool or phrase that's used, but Swiss Army knife. Yeah, he can do it all. So.
When we first learned about Tez, one of the constants about him was he's a guy that can take the top off the defense.
Yeah.
Who are some of the guys that can take the top off the defense now that you need maybe to go a little bit more vertical than you guys have done?
Yeah, I think I need a better job of hitting Gavin. Gavin, he's got track speed. He blew by some guys against App State. Just got to look his way. I think one was a PI call, and other than that, JJ slept on for his speed for how big he is. He's a big kid, about 6'3", about 200 pounds. So I feel like a lot of guys, I think they do a nice job of kind of on the option route stuff, winning deep if they can, and then other than that, just sitting down and trying to sit down in the zone. So I think me personally, I think Washington's taking the top off defense. It just matters, who's got the route that time and how they want to approach it.
Well, Maye scored 3 times the other night. You had a pretty good look at 3 of them.
Yeah.
Was the shortest one the one where he ran over about half the defense? Maybe first impressive.
Yeah, he's tough to tackle. It's a joy to hand the ball off to him and British. Even Caleb, they're all 3 tough to bring down. Tackling anybody for 4 quarters like that. The one thing I told him, start going low on him. So I think he needs to find a way to stop getting trying to chop tackle. They're gonna try to kind of put their shoulder into his lower thigh. They're gonna try to do that and kind of take his legs out. So I told him to try to find a hurdle or find a kind of a different type of adjustment. But nobody wants to tackle him, hitting shoulder pad, shoulder pad. He's gonna run it over every time. So it's fun to watch, and he's gonna get in there and short yard stuff, get short 3rd and 3s and 4th and 2s. It's a confidence booster.
When you have a balanced offense, when you have the ability to run the ball like you all have so far for 2 games, how does that change the way you play quarterback? How does that impact what you were thinking about and kind of pressure that's on you during the course of the game?
Yeah, I think the big thing is winning football games is running the football and stopping the run. Coach Brown preaches that all the time. So anytime we can run the football and run it for over 150 yards, or the way we ran it, on Saturday for over 200 and maybe over 300 maybe. Anytime we got that, I feel like we had a good chance to win the ball game because then we start looking at stuff like play action and some shots I can take deep, and even that 2-minute drill is an example. They hadn't seen us hurry up and throw the ball around like that, and gets into that, and next thing you know, we're moving the ball down the field, I'm making plays on the run. So it definitely opened a lot of things up and allows me just to go out there and play football.
Drake, you talk about executing plays that are called, but Chip's giving you the ability to sort of check at the line. Just sort of speak to that. I think he said against App, maybe 8 passes you checked into a run, and obviously you guys rushed for 319 or whatever it was. Just your growth as a quarterback, just talk about that aspect of it.
Yeah, I think, all the time, I think the nature of the game is, getting to the right look and seeing which one's the best pass look, which one's the best run look. So my job is to, decipher that and see what the defense is playing, and, if they're bracketing in over the slot, and, they're getting too high look, we're going to run the football and make them come up there and tackle Marion, British, and Caleb. So I think, the NFL's a lot of that, they double call stuff. Ours is similar, but just kind of run checks if we see a blitz off the edge, or just a lot of different stuff and some double call stuff. So it makes it tough on the defense, because if they're in a look where I think we can beat them deep, I'll check it. And I think the one to Kobe against South Carolina, the slot fade was a run play. And check it. So just trying to do my job. If I see something and I be on the same page with the guys, it's a big deal. Just try to hurt them where I think we can make a big play.
Yeah, Drake, just to follow up on that, you're 2 games into this season. At this point last year, after 2 games, were you doing much of that in terms of checking a play at the line into a run or checking it into a pass? Can you compare this time last year to now to maybe, is that part of your growth in terms of playing quarterback, just changing the plays at the line of scrimmage?
No doubt. I think that's growth for any quarterback. Just get more comfortable back there. And it's big with Coach Lindsey trusting me, and he's giving me a lot of freedom. And Coach Longo did a little bit of double call stuff, but that was kind of easy. If we got this look, I want you to do this. Coach Lindsey's kind of free ball out there. So it's tough, and it's a lot of kind of trust between me and him, and that's what I like about it. He trusts me and to give us the right looks, and I think it's going to pay off for us down the road.
Was it 8? Did y'all count it up? How many calls you changed?
I went back and looked at it, but I can think of 4 or 5 off the top of my head right now. So.
What's it like that, Diego? I know you guys are boys.
Yeah, Diego. Yeah, it means a lot. I did a lot trying to recruit him, and he's. You just look at him. He's a specimen, and he's got it in him. Just he showed out, and thought he did a great job for his first game against App State, and just got to bring it every week. And one thing I need to tell him, and I try to kind of hint it out to him, is you showed it in the game. Now you need to practice like a starter and bring it every day practice. Because practice is where kind of sometimes guys get in the game and say, hey, I did a good job. You got to bring every day practice.
Did you see that from him today?
Yeah, I thought he did a nice job. He was in there with the blue left tackle, and he brings it. I think Coach Galloway and Coach Lindsey and Coach Clinton did a nice job of trying to get him fired up because like any offensive tackle, some of the ones when you're fired up, you're tough, you're a beast to handle. And he's about 6'6", 300, a good bit above 300 dunking a basketball. So he's got all his hands, just mental and him and Corey game got him on the right page. So.
Drake, this year they have the rule of the running clock after the first downs. I know it's a small sample size, but have you noticed that at all? Like, does the game feel shorter?
For sure, it's definitely different. I think it's an advantage to some of those teams. Like Minnesota and App State, we're going to try to run the ball and keep it away from me. That's the kind of deal that's going to get into like some high school games. When people are trying to keep me off the field and keep our defense on there by running for 3 yards and running for another 4 yards and third and 3 and throw a 4-yard pop pass and start all over again. So someone's got to battle and take advantage of those drives that we do get and make the most of it.
And as a quarterback, are you conscious of that? Just kind of when you're getting out there knowing that it's running. Like, is that something that you factor in game plan wise too?
That's a good point. I really haven't looked at it that way. I'm sure Coach Lindsey and them do. Kind of key plays and plays that we love, run the ones that we love. Just watching the Nebraska game, I think they got maybe 3 drives in the first half against Minnesota. Against Minnesota that first game. So we're going to battle that and make the most of it, like I said.
Right. I was just wondering. It's not like you all forgot that all of these games are hard, but was App State in any way some sort of reminder that it might not go as smoothly as it did against South Carolina? You had so many games last year that were just one-score games that went down to the wire. Do you think that can serve maybe as a reminder of how you never know how these things are going to go, and you've got to bring your best every time? You know what I mean? Like, do you think that's possible?
I think it was a great reminder. I wouldn't say that necessarily a wake-up call because we knew App was going to give it all, and they always give us a good game. No matter what, I feel like. So I think, like you said, it's going to end up paying off. For these next weeks, you got to bring it every week. It's college football. Guys transferring in, and guys just recruiting well and inside the state, and just bringing it every week, like you said. It's, every. It's like Coach Brown said about being 2-0. Not a lot of people out there are 2-0 right now. So just keep winning and keeping that drive.
Got time for one more.
Okay, after playing App State, what is the offense as a whole learned from that close to the game, and what are you guys taking from that experience playing against Minnesota?
Yeah, I think from App State, I think some things that we learned is just how different dynamics throughout the game, how much of different parts of the offense that we need. At one point, we're feeding Omarion, play after play, running for 250, and the next time we're hitting a shot to JJ for 75 yards, and the next drive we're in a 2-minute drill to try to win it. Just so many different aspects of the offense that you work on throughout the week. Short yardage, 2 times we got stopped. How important, working those stuff throughout the week in practice and against our defense, and just try to, have those things, turn out and meaningful in the game. Those different aspects, dynamics. It's not all about the 1st and 10 play and the 2nd and 7 call. It's it's about that 1-minute drill. It's about playing shots and hitting shots.
Are you good with the left hand?
Yeah, I'm solid with the left hand. Obviously, I'm out of basketball mode now, but I've never been able to dunk on the left hand, but I got it.
Have you seen a lot of the images out there of that? People have had a lot of fun with that.
Really? No, I haven't seen much.
A
I think
couple
it's pretty
silhouettes
sweet.
and different poster boards. Like
Really?
that.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to do it right with this one, so we'll see.
Yeah, this Ear Drake is out there again.
Really? Oh, geez. Thank y'all.
Appreciate it, man.